Okay, so I just want to state ahead of time, yes, this is a 15 plus minute video about a 1 minute and 48-second clip. So maybe this video may not be for you. It is what it is. But I would also ask that in order for you to, in a sense, follow what it is that I'm stating with the stills that I have up, you may want to just take a gander at the trailer yourself and then come directly back to the video and, have a listen for a few minutes. So finally, I'm guessing the reshoots are almost done. So they started to release a trailer for Captain America, Brave New World, right? Where you have Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, who has taken the place of Steve Rogers because Steve Rogers is currently MIA at this moment of time. If you know what we're talking about, you have obviously watched the previous movies. So the clip that you see here, after Sam is having a flashback of being in the suit, doing the mission while also walking in the White House out of suit at the same time, he happens upon Harrison Ford, who is basically the new Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. If you don't know who Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross is, he pretty much is a Incredible Hulk character. He is also the father of Betty, and Betty is the love interest of Bruce Banner, right? So obviously in this film, Ross ran for president. I'm guessing that he obviously got the position. And you have Sam and Ross having a conversation saying, like, hey, you look different. That was a nod to William Hurt, who was the original Thunderbolt Ross that we were able to see in the MCU, having his various interactions with the Avengers and so on and so on and so on. But last year, Mr. Hurt, he passed, and they had to, find somebody to be able to replace him, to bring that same energy directly to the film. And they found that directly with Harrison Ford. And when you look directly at the trailer, you can tell that Harrison Ford, he is really there. You see him in the role of Thunderbolt Ross. Next, we come upon this scene where Thunderbolt is telling Sam that, hey, I really want you to work with me. I know that we've had our disagreements in the past. I'm thinking that this is coming back to a Civil War type of nod, type of feeling, type of era that is being delivered in this film. But as you start to progress through the film, if you are a fan of the MCU, you would actually know or notice that type of feeling that is happening. And you can also see that it has a little bit of that grit, that edge, that darkness directly in there that was sort of there when it dealt with the Captain America Winter Soldier. So in this scene, you're going to notice that Thunderbolt is standing in four, panes of glass, right? And you see the images of, I guess, the world or the United States or whatever. And he's, talking and explaining something. But you'll see this interesting character lineup. These are technically the main important characters that they decided to show off. So this is how you know that something's going to happen and that these characters are integral to the story. So number one, if you actually take notice, if you actually know a little bit of history here, you actually have two black Captain Americas, right? The very first Captain America, which I told people about, was Isaiah Bradley, and he is sitting all the way to the right, right? That is the man that you see in the gray suit, staring directly at Harrison Ford. He still does have the super soldier serum. He is still very strong at this moment in time. If you actually know the history about the super soldier serum, they had black soldiers that were experimented on. And out of the many of the black soldiers that were experimented on, only a few of them actually survived. And Isaiah Bradley was one of these people that survived. He was basically sent out on a mission that he was not supposed to come back from. He went over into enemy lines in Germany, and he fought and he came back. And one of the things that normally takes place, and the thing that they showed in the book, is that even though as a black soldier he risked his life, he technically was not supposed to come back. The government still mistreated him just like the soldiers do and did back in those days, let's say the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. They didn't necessarily get the recognition that they should have gotten. He should have been recognized as the first Captain America. He should have had a statue. It was even to the point in the comic books that even Steve Rogers knows who Isaiah Bradley is, and he thanks Isaiah Bradley for the great sacrifice and everything that he went through in order for him to be Captain America at this moment in time. So next, you have Sam Wilson, right? At this moment in time, I don't think he has a super soldier serum. I don't even think he has Tony Stark's extremist serum, which would, give super strength. So I'm guessing that this is pretty much just from training and conditioning that he'll be able to do, certain things to try to live up to that role of holding the shield, representing the name Captain America, being in the shadow of Steve Rogers and so on and so on. The guy in the middle is pretty interesting because about earlier this year to last year, there were images that were released, and I noticed that guy there. And if you actually go back and look at those images of Captain America Brave New World, you will see somebody in a Falcon type of outfit because remember, Sam Wilson dropped the title of Falcon in order to pick up the shield, right? To be Captain America. Not Steve Rogers, mind you, but to be Captain America. So I think that guy there is pretty much Sam Wilson's sidekick. He's training him. That guy is, in a sense, with him because he's going to be, for all intents and purposes, the brand new Falcon because a Falcon is still needed. A sidekick is still needed because that's what Sam was with Captain America, right? Because again, Bucky wasn't there. He was the Winter Soldier. He was, brainwashed by the Red Skull, the Red Room, and all of those things. Now, at this moment, during the whole speech that Ross is giving, you have Isaiah Bradley, who still has the super soldier serum going through his body, deciding to get up, and he takes out one of the Secret Service members, and then he takes a weapon directly out, looks at Ross, and he fires off several shots, which you see in the lower left hand screen. And you see Ross like, I didn't sign up for this. I was originally Indiana Jones. And then the whole thing completely shatters. And this is when in the next image you see the glass completely fall down. And then in the next shot in the trailer, that's when you see Isaiah Bradley jump directly out of what I'm suspecting to be the White House window, and he's running away. Now, I'm not sure if Isaiah Bradley is compromised by way of some type of military, brainwashing or a trigger word, sort of like the Winter Soldier. But I can tell you that this is a far cry from the Isaiah Bradley that we met with Falcon and the Winter Soldier on the Disney Plus TV series. If you have not watched that, I would actually recommend you watch it. And it wasn't that long ago. I think after literally I watched that episode, I think that day or that night, I actually made a video going over that episode and how it made me feel and everything like that, right? And if anybody actually saw that video, shout out to you. Much love, respect, and appreciation because I know that a few people did not. A lot of people, I'm sorry, actually did not see that video. So again, there's a few things that you can watch to try to get up to speed on some of the things here. You can watch Captain America Civil War, and you could also watch the Disney Plus series, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So after that, you see Sam having a serious conversation. He's like, yo, you've been compromised. Like, I'm not sure if you believe me or not, but your inner circle has been compromised, meaning that somebody is working their way through his inner circle in order to get directly towards him. So in the next scene, you see Sam pulling out the shield because it's getting serious. And then you see Falcon, right? So then next scene, it cuts directly into almost what appears to be a red room slash a Bruce Banner type of lab. If people remember some of the earlier Hulk films, this was sort of like the type of laboratory that they would use in order to perform the gamma radiated experiments to see what would happen because Thunderbolt was active in trying to create a military, United States military controlled version of the Incredible Hulk, because again, he did not like Bruce Banner. He also didn't like the fact that Bruce Banner was having the eye of his daughter, and he was with his daughter. He also didn't like the fact that Bruce Banner has all of this power, doesn't know what to do with it, and he does not want to use it for the United States in order to bring forth democracy and all of these things, right? So then the next scene in the lower right hand side, you see Sam is in there with the same shield as above, and he's being attacked by military. Not sure if this is secret military, private military, but they are still in the exact same red room, of which Sam is trying to investigate and try to figure out, like trying to get some clues on who is behind this, what's specifically going on, and who was using this room. And if they were using this room, who was in it that they were experimenting on? Maybe potentially Isaiah Bradley or a new character. So in this shot, they had a flashback montage, right? So this is the main conversation as you see in the middle of the screen, where you have Sam and Thaddeus having this conversation. And Thunderbolt is mad. He's like, yo, I want you to understand and know that as the, president of the United States or whatever he's representing at this time, you are not Steve Rogers. And you see Falcon look at him a little bit perplexed. And he's like, I know, right? And the reason why that for me is such a hard response in line is because it's a nod directly to a lot of the people that first heard about this film coming out. And it's also a nod to those out there in the comic book world that had an issue with Sam Wilson taking over the role as Captain America, because automatically they were just like, "Oh my God, you're replacing Steve Rogers. He's the real Captain America. He's the one and only and true Captain America." It's the same thing that they do when it delves into Spider-Man. And when it deals with Miles Morales, that's the same exact way that they treat a lot of the black characters when they are taking over a another role, another brand, another name, when realistically it's the person that makes the role, right? Not the role that makes the person. So Steve Rogers was just himself. But once he was able to put on a costume, now you can give what Steve Rogers does a name, right? Again, Sam Wilson has always been the Falcon. That's pretty much all he's ever, been or potentially even wanted to be or represent. He had his own identity. He was his own character. But after a variety of things took place and Steve could no longer do the role because, he put down the shield, because I'm not sure if people forgot, but during, again, if you go back and watch the Disney show, and I went over this as well, you had the U.S. agent who is, in a sense, the counterfeit Captain America. That was the United States government trying to give it a second go at creating a Captain America that was all for the military, all for America, and that was going to do everything without any questions being asked. But the problem with that is that Captain America was severely psychologically broken from all of the tours and the wars and things and trauma that he's seen. And he even took way more trauma when it dealt with the television show and seeing somebody that, he was so close to lose their life directly there. Right. And during the montage in that speech of Sam and Ross having this, thing, this little statement, you see Sam picking up the shield again. That's almost a harken back to Thor trying to pick up the hammer, because they both understand the weight behind these weapons, what it means to be Thor, what it means to be Captain America. Even Steve Rogers, had a time or an issue wanting to pick up the shield because he understood and knew what it represents, but he didn't really, at certain points in time throughout the MCU, feel that he was that representation. He felt that he let the image down. He let that belief, that faith that people have in that shield, in that image, directly down. And then you go into another scene on the upper right hand corner of and they did the scene beautifully. So this does not actually serve it justice, because after Sam picked up the shield, there's a scene where he's in a tunnel. He throws the shield towards the screen, and then they paired that up with a explosion that was going through the White House. Like, the way that they did that was actually pretty dope, right? So then in the lower left hand corner, you see again Sam is thinking what his response is going to be to Ross. And when he says, I know, right? Because he is Sam Wilson, the Falcon. He is just in the place of Captain America up until they find somebody else. You see his brand new red, white, and blue Falcon suit. So, like I said before, it's pretty funny, and I don't think that a lot of people who, in a sense, are against Sam Wilson being Captain America are actually going to realize that that whole statement is about them, and that is Sam giving his response to all of those people that keep trying to tell him, both comic book and in the movies, that hey, you're not, Steve Rogers, you're not the real Captain America. But realistically, what they're trying to say is that you're not the image of Captain America that they respect, that they want to see, because they want to see themselves in the suit and not somebody else that they cannot identify with. So this right here is pretty much pairing up everything that I told you guys earlier. How you saw the main three characters, Isaiah Bradley, Sam, and then you saw the unknown guy in the middle. And I theorized that that more than likely is going to be Sam's sidekick, because Captain America always had a type of sidekick like Wolverine has, Jubilee and, different things like that. So Sam has his Falcon. And this further proves that in the final image that you see directly above. The same guy that you see in both screenshots is the Falcon that you see on the right hand side, the upper right hand side corner of the screen, which looks to be Sam's old suit, and his wings are also repaired. And I'm trying to figure out, were those the ones that were vibranium made or not, because I'm not actually too sure. And then you see, of course, Sam in the upper left hand corner with the shield directly on the back. And then later on, you see Sam going about, I want to say maybe Mach 1. He's hitting, the speed of sound, because you can see the circle basically happen around him, and then he shoots forward, kind of like an Iron Man-esque type of deal. So again, I'm not sure if Sam actually has the super soldier serum. I'm not sure if maybe it's the suit that he is wearing that's allowing him to go at that speed and not really feel anything directly from it. I am not sure, but I can safely say, with everything that I was able to see in the trailer, which was about maybe a minute and 48 seconds, I'm pretty psyched. It comes out February of 2025. That's going to be a very good film. I'm actually waiting for it. And
but wait, there's more.
I also forgot to mention, not sure how I forgot to mention this, but you have a fight that is going to happen with more than likely, Sam, aka Captain America, Falcon, and Thunderbolt Ross. Because again, like I told you before at the beginning, Ross was in a sense angry, right? He represents the United States. He is for the military. He is trying to show the world that the United States is nobody to mess with. We have power, and if we need to use it, we're just going to throw down a Hulk, and it's going to decimate everybody to control and to have everybody in a certain type of order. So instead of them, using nuclear weapons, they're going to use a nuclear enhanced or radiated enhanced human being in order to get the job done. So you see Mr. Ford's character, Thunderbolt Ross, becoming the Red Hulk. And if you know anything about the Red Hulk, you know exactly how dangerous his very first appearance is, along with his powers and the things that he is able to do. And this is going to more than likely go into a Hulk storyline at a certain point in time, because Sam is going to need some help. This is not going to be a fight that Sam is going to more than likely be able to win. For me, I feel like this is going to be a persistent threat, a persistent problem there, because as long as Thunderbolt Ross has that radiated blood directly in him and he's able to transform at will, there's not going to be anything out there that will be able to stop him or anything that he wants to do. And in one of the next shots, which I don't have up here, you see him to the upper right, Thunderbolt Ross as the Red Hulk grab the shield, because Sam tried to throw it directly at him, and then he just threw it directly into the ground, splitting the ground. Now the shield is there. So now, Sam is without any type of defense slash offense. So again, this is going to be a different type of battle. again, let me know what you guys think about it. I know I pretty much went a little bit too far in depth. Maybe, I'm not sure. You can let me know in the comment description below if you know, like stuff like this, breakdowns or whatnot, whatever. And you know, maybe I might bring some more breakdowns like this directly to you guys. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about the film after you've seen the trailer. I'll probably say this in the beginning as well, because I think I may have to put a disclaimer directly out there so people will be able to follow, you know, what it is that I'm stating. But anyways, let me know in the comment description below how you feel about it, and see you guys in the next video.